Winter arcs are trending right now, but the unfortunate truth is that most winter arcs are doomed to fail. People are shaving their heads and hitting the gym and setting out to change their lives in just 90 days. But here's the twist. While it's blowing up now, winter arcs are not new. And here's what most people don't realize. Only 9% of people will make it to the end of the arc. For the other 91%, this is just going to be an awkward filler arc.
Kaioken! Up to 10 times!
After hours of digging into psychology, researching, and decoding why these arcs tend to fail, I'm ready to share what actually sets a successful 9% apart. So this video will answer the question, how do you do the perfect winter arc? How can you succeed where many others have failed? So for those of you who aren't chronically online, what the heck is the winter arc? In storytelling and psychology, the term can symbolize an intense transformation period where you level up and go from sad to Chad. Think Luke Skywalker when he was training with Yoda, that one famous Rocky montage scene, or Deku when he trained with All Might for 10 months. But winter doesn't last 10 months, unless you live in the UK. Most winter arcs aim to achieve this life-changing transformation in only 90 days, which even brings into question whether or not this is even possible. And I'm happy to report the answer is yes, sorta. Realistically, you're not going to go from this to this in 90 days, but setting up the fundamentals and groundwork to close the gap will happen in 90 days, provided you follow this video closely. The Pareto principle specifies that 80% of the outcome comes from 20% of the effort. This video will be just that, your 20% starting line that will help you accomplish 80% of your results. And if you stay to the very end, I'll share something special with you that will take you to 100%. But let's not fall into survivorship bias. Before we get into the good stuff, let's go over something even more important. Why do most winter arcs fail? Let me cook for a sec. This analogy will blow your mind. Do you guys know what a Wendy's is? It's Wendy's nuts hit your— Sorry, I couldn't not do it. Before Wendy's became the savage anime waifu that was known for roasting guys online, it used to be a regular chain restaurant. But Wendy's faced increased competition in the market and they had to adapt. The solution was to rebrand in order to appeal to a new, younger audience. Why I'm telling you this is because winter arcs are essentially a rebrand of New Year's resolutions. They both happen around a similar time in the year, set hyper-ambitious goals, and both get people hooked under the idea that a full transformation is possible within a set time period. This is both a great and a horrible thing. It's great because now we have an idea of what we're working with, but it's horrible because New Year's resolutions are notoriously known as one of the lowest success rate transformations in history. And winter arcs are essentially the speedrun version. This isn't just an opinion. There are countless studies and sources that all show New Year's resolutions have horrible success rates. So to understand why most winter arcs fail, this is the perfect place to look. After analyzing a metric crap ton of anecdotal stories and research, I found what I think are the three biggest trappings that cause people to end the arc early. The first trap is relying too much on motivation. Motivation is great for short-term goals, but it sucks ass for long-term dreams. Motivation is kind of like the honeymoon phase of a new relationship, and dopamine is a love potion making it all like crack. When the spark of motivation is first lit, dopamine floods your brain. At first, dopamine is your darling. It's all over you and encourages you to push yourself. But over time, as you keep doing the same thing over and over, the novelty fades, and dopamine leaves one night to go buy milk at the store. As human beings, we really do overestimate how long we can do something without boredom kicking in, which is a good segue into the next big pitfall that people make: setting unrealistic expectations. Let me ask you a question real quick. What's the strongest animal you think you can beat in a 1v1? Feel free to put your guess in the comments. In 2021, a study found that 11% of people thought they could beat this list of animals. Unarmed, by the way. Needless to say, you want to be optimistic when you set goals, but people tend to get too optimistic. A common pitfall is that people set goals that are just too much, and once they get the slight idea that they might not match up, the deflating feeling is immeasurable, and their day is ruined. This is super detrimental because it gives you a reference experience of you failing, and it will make you less confident chasing goals in the future. While it might seem simple, goal setting is actually very nuanced and difficult, which is why it unexpectedly trips so many people up. But there is a science to it, and later in the video, I'll be sharing a foolproof formula for goal setting. The next biggest trap is trash goals. Goals like getting in shape or being healthier are vague and don't outline a clear path. A good goal is subscribing to this YouTube channel, but other than the obvious, when goals aren't specific or measurable, it's difficult to know exactly what steps to take and how to track progress. Imagine playing a video game, but the game has no HUD, no map, and no indication that what you're doing will have any kind of payoff in the future. You and many others would understandably rage quit. So I've shown the pitfalls, but do I actually have ways to avoid them? Yes. This solution is time-tested, scientifically backed, and designed to help you overcome these common traps. I'm going to break down exactly how you can finally make your winter arc a lasting success. Let's talk a little bit about habit formation and flow. We've already covered how motivation isn't enough to complete your winter arc. So next you're going to say, if motivation isn't it, what do I need? The key is habits. Before I get into that, first things first, you need a clear goal. What is it that you exactly want to be at the end of your 90 days? Do you want to be more fit? Do you want to learn a new skill? Get better social skills? You need somewhere to write down what your goal is and make it as clear and specific as possible. It's also super important that progress through your goal is also measurable. Now here's where most people choke. Having the goal was just part one, and I'm sure many people have been there, done that. But what they haven't done is create a system to support that goal. A goal without a system is kind of like a car without wheels. Systems are the actions that you take consistently that will naturally lead you to your goal. Your goal will dictate your systems, and then you want to focus on the systems, not the goal. This plan works for everything. But to contextualize and help you understand, let's use the most popular resolution people make: losing weight. Instead of setting a goal to lose 10 kg, create a system that includes things like working out 3 times a week and eating healthy on those training days. This routine will naturally lead you to your fitness goal without focusing directly on the weight loss numbers itself. If you focus on the routine and consistency rather than the 10 kg at the end, the score will count itself. Now that we have a goal and an idea of systems, we need to know how to keep our systems alive. And there are 4 key laws of habit formation that will help us do this. These laws are so effective that they integrate by sports teams, artists, and CEOs alike. And if you implement these laws into your systems, success is pretty much all but guaranteed. The first law is to make it obvious. Let's go back to our weight loss example. Set clear cues that remind you to go to the gym. This could be a phone notification that goes off at a routine time, or surrounding yourself with gym inspo. You want something that will remind you of your goal and why you're doing the systems that you set in place. Another thing you could do is schedule your workouts at the same time each day or on specific days of the week to create a routine. Over time, this timing will act as a natural cue. And just like how not brushing your teeth for a long period would make you feel uncomfortable, I hope, your body will get naturally used to the routine. And instead of feeling like you're forcing yourself to do something, your body will naturally want to do it. The second law is to make it attractive. Find a workout buddy who makes the experience fun. Having an accountability partner to chat with and challenge you adds a social element to the habit, making it more likely to stick. But if you're a Discord kitten and being around people IRL just isn't your thing, I got you. What you want to do instead is habit stack. This is combining something you need to do with something you want to do. One thing I've personally been doing is only watching anime while I'm at the gym, and this convinces me to go out and do more cardio more often. Just be careful about what you end up watching in public. The third law is to make it easy.
Hey! Come on, man! That's too easy!
If you're starting from nothing, start small. Commit only 15 to 30 minutes to your workout. It might not feel like much, but doing even this small action makes you 1% better than you were the day before. And if you keep the momentum running, you'll easily get your way past 100%. And the last law is to make it satisfying.
So good and tasty?
Yes, you can make a new habit and have fun at the same time. Going back, track your workouts in a way that lets you see your progress, like using a fitness app or checking days off a calendar. Just like in an FPS game, watching your streak grow can feel rewarding, and it motivates you to keep pushing for that higher number. And it shouldn't just be work either. You deserve small rewards after you hit certain milestones in your winter arc. Now that we've gone over the 4 laws of habit formation, there's one more useful psychological trick to make habits stick, and it's harnessing flow state. Flow state is a mental state where you're fully immersed and focused on an activity. Ever play a game or get into a project and totally lose track of time? That's flow. It's when you're so focused that everything else fades away. Psychologists, you're just gonna have to read what's on screen, coined the term flow to describe this optimal state of consciousness where you feel and perform your best. I won't go too deeply into flow now because I've already covered it in the past, but there is one key detail we need to know for this video. In order to achieve this state, we need a balance of challenges and skills. If a task is too intimidating, you'll get anxious and avoid it. Makes sense, everybody's done that. But one thing that gets massively overlooked is that the inverse is also true. If a task is too easy, we'll get bored and eventually lose the desire to even finish it.
What is my purpose?
You pass butter.
Oh my god.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
This is super important because it means everything I've set up to this point needs to be dynamic. You can't be rigid and have one goal that you do all the time. You need to go with the flow. If the systems in place are too difficult to do on a regular basis, make them easier. But if they're too easy, make them more challenging to keep your brain engaged. With a clear, measurable, and time-bound goal, and dynamic systems to support that goal, you've got everything you need for the next 90 days. Track your progress, whether it's in a journal or an app, and with each step forward, push yourself a little more. This video is about winter arcs, but notice the advice I'm giving you isn't time-bound or expires or anything. Realistically, if you want to change your life in 90 days, you don't need to wait until it's trending to do so. No matter when you watch this video, it's never too late to use habits and flow to accomplish your dream goals and become a better version of yourself. Just like the famous saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time to plant a tree is right now. So remember in the beginning when I promised a surprise? The surprise was further reading. But whoa, wait. I promise this is actually cool. So throughout this video, you may not have realized it, but I've been giving advice from these 3 books specifically. These books are my special, and they've genuinely changed my life. If you're serious about completely transforming your life, the brutal honesty is that this video won't be enough. You need to constantly be a student looking for avenues to improve, because transformation is a journey, not a destination. I can vouch for the value of these books, but I do understand that not necessarily everyone is going to be in a position to get them. If I could only pick one book from this list, I would pick Atomic Habits by James Clear. James is a fantastic writer, and even if you don't want to pay for Atomic Habits, his website has a billion resources that are pretty much as good as the book. I'll leave a non-affiliate link in the description if YouTube decides I'm finally cool enough for that. I really hope this video provided value to you, and if it did, please consider subscribing. As a small channel, every single subscriber means the absolute world to me. If this video resonated with you, consider hitting subscribe and becoming a part of my YouTube journey from the very beginning. But outside of all of that, I really appreciate the fact that you stayed to the very end to watch this. I'm genuinely curious about how many people make it this far, so if you did, type Anya wants peanuts in the comment section. With that said, this has been Meta, you've been amazing. Until next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and I will see you in another video. Peace.